Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely day in which the Most High Yah, I'm sorry, shall, the Most High Yah, and this is a lovely day in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. Uh, and I hope that you get something out of this. Let me ask you that you out there, um, I want you to take on making a change, the way you thinking, the way you feeling about things, the way you see things. Sister Deborah have spoken so many videos trying to kind of get the woman to really look into herself and not into what man has said. So a lot of times you hear me talking about men, men, men. It's really to gear you and prepare you for uh, 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 worshiping and serving, honoring, and praising a higher. Not so much as looking at what man says. They didn't say it enough. Matter of fact, they didn't say it more than enough because the great falling away has fallen away from a higher. And they still yet could care less, which is okay. It's okay. I thank the Most High Yah for yesterday. I don't know if on your Facebook some TikToks kind of flash up. It's not the individual TikTok, but it pops up on my phone, and I just hit it. And these two videos that I put out to you all were something that was popped on up on my TikTok. And I'm not a person that goes on to TikTok or whatever. But when it popped up, I listened to it, especially when I saw those black men. And then I said, as I was watching the black men, this one guy, when I showed him the video, he said, "Oh, how could you be able to see that?" I said, "Because when I'm looking and I'm hearing, okay, I go into a spiritual realm. Even though I'm in this flesh, I go to an area of spirit, okay, to where I can discern it in the right order." And as I was looking at that video where the Islam were men, the what is it, Farrakhan or whoever they are, men. They were all dressed up in suit and standing there, listen to this one guy do this here speech, and it was like more like a rap. And as I listened to it, everything he was saying, honestly, is so true, even from the beginning of what he said to the end. But then something forced me and said, "Look, Deborah, look." And as I looked, I saw an eye in the back of the video. So when you all go back to see the video again, and you might, ain't no doubt about it, you missed it. You will miss it because I'm telling you, only thing and only one that can bring you to the knowledge of any spiritual thing and bring you to the wisdom of any spiritual thing and bring you to the understanding of any spiritual understanding that comes from the Ruach HaKodesh. It's going to warn you what you actually in. Okay. So as I was listening to the video, I was really enjoying the video. But then the quiet little voice said, "Now look ahead of you." And I looked behind the men, behind what they were saying. After I had heard them like 3 times, the small voice said, "Now look behind you, Deborah. Look behind them." Not look behind me, but look behind them. I looked behind them, and that big old eye sitting right in the back. So the question was for that video, who are they speaking of, or who are they speaking to? When you're getting on this platform and you making a statement like that, your statement is vain and vast if you're not on the highways and byways proclaiming exactly what you on this devil platform proclaiming. So you can't come on this devil platform if you're not living it in the light. Speaking it in the dark mean nothing. And it was spoken in it was on you what is it, TikTok. But see what it told me, it said, "Look at that eye." And that eye was for me to see men dressed nice, very handsome men, speaking very powerful word. But behind it was what the Spirit said. Look, Deborah, behind it. I said, oh, Father, it's the eye. He said, yes. So who are they performing for? Who eye are they really on? So when I asked you the question, what do you think about it? And who are they? I think it was something like, who are they speaking to? Or who are they speaking to? That eye or to the men? Us women that are called and chosen by the Most Higher. We know who we are. We don't need a man nor a woman to tell us who we are. We know when you hear that holy calling and he calls you up to the forefront, let me tell you something. Ain't nothing a man or a woman can do to make you go in the back. No, you stand forward to the voice and you salute that voice. You salute that voice and you honor that voice that called you to a holy calling. Okay, now the second video was this European Caucasian white man, and he popped up, and I was like, "What is he saying?" And I began to listen to what he was saying. I said, "Let me go to his videos and see where he coming from." Then I noticed he had a lot of videos addressing the nature and women and black women about situations like this. So I said, let me listen to him. When I listened to him, I was like, see, this is how y'all don't. That's why I know for a fact, to a fact, 99.9 of these men and women on this Devil platform, you don't know my Ahaya. You don't know the Most High, y'all. Because if you do, you'll know how he rumbles. Now, when he's letting this European know this, is identical what Sister Deborah has been said for the last year. What's this thing with you? I'm trying to find out, Father, y'all. What's this thing with you and these heathens? Every time I'm turning around, Father, y'all, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Solomon, Moses, everybody talking about, you're talking to everybody about these heathens. Who is these heathens you keep talking about? And why is it you trying to prove something to them, Most High? What is it you trying to prove to these heathens? You don't owe them nothing. You don't have to prove nothing to them. I believe who you are. I salute who you are and everything that you do. You don't have to prove nothing to these heathens, but it's a plan for the heathens, y'all. Go back to your Bible and start reading and sit your butt still and tarry until he come, until the teachers show up, till the true teachers show up. Because I kept on asking, what's this deal with these heathens? And like I told y'all, you got these here men that been on this thing for a good 30 years running around here talking about we awakening, we the Hebrew Israelites. They been awoke. Let me not say this. They ain't never been awakened. And they ain't gonna wake up. Because Jacob said it before he died. You ain't gonna never get up, Judith. And he has not and he will not. And the thing about it, this European young man was talking about, I'm going to tell y'all if you knew what he was saying, and I'm going to take you into a deeper depth of what he's saying so you can understand. But I had to say to you all, this is what I was saying and have said throughout many videos. These white people know that Bible back to front to back. Let me say that again. These Gentiles knows that Bible. These heathens, they know that Bible back to front to back. Now, what do you mean, Deborah? I keep telling y'all the Bible has a lot of things in it, a whole lot of things that does not proceed out of the mouth of Yah. And what they have did, they have mastered it for what they have read and understood. And that's why they can go into this book for the last 40 or 50 years and make all these movies surrounding different chapters, different verses, and even, like a whole chapter. They can build a story around one chapter of the Bible. And they would build their whole movie based on that one chapter. They have been doing it for years. So when I'm looking at it, and I'm like, wait a minute, they trying to smear a Revelation. They all up in Revelation trying to go this way and go that way and go this way. But when you are taught by the Ruach HaKodesh, he take you where the throne of the Most High Yah is. And he showed you clearly through spirit and truth what's what. And what I learned was they have mastered the Bible. They have mastered the word. And what this young man is saying is, I'm going to turn you over to what proceed out of the difference between what proceed out of the mouth of Ahijah versus what proceed out of the mouth of man. So what this young man is saying is what Sister Deborah did. And I think I might have made 5 videos explaining to you all about Isaiah chapter 3 and how a lot of the men do not salute and honor Ahijah's word that proceeded out of his mouth. Because if it did, it told them women will rule over thee. Children would be the parents' oppressor. And it has, and it is. I'm a living witness. But what had happened was I realized those words that proceed out of the mouth of Yah is only for certain ear. That's why he said, he that have that ear, let him hear. You see? So let him hear what? Letting him hear what that comes out of that ear. And that is the Holy Spirit teach you. Spirit and truth. That's what he said. He ain't telling you no man, because he already knew that from the Garden of Eden, and that's Eve, that's what a lot of people miss. Going back to when I was telling y'all about a week ago, maybe not even about a week ago, about what was going on in the garden. Something was going on before. Adam had not abide. When Eve was speaking and communing with the serpent, instant, automatically, that was the entertainment. That was a taking of the fruit. And who was with her? Adam. Adam was with her, and he was the one and the only one. He didn't give it to the animals. He didn't give it to Eve. He gave the charge of instructions and direction to Adam. Same thing today. They keep blaming that woman. But y'all want me to let you all know you didn't understand it. And you don't understand it now. Because Adam didn't blame the woman first. He blamed the woman second. He blamed Ahijah first for the woman he gave him. And then he blamed the woman. So y'all already knew that he was dealing with men. A nation of men that would never own up to spirit and truth. They would never own up to what is righteous, what is just. So, as you go on over to Isaiah chapter 3, I'm reading all up in here, seeing how he's going to destroy these Hebrew men. How he's going to go down with them. Now, y'all don't understand. What y'all don't understand, this is how he rumbles. He's always destroyed them by numbers. What was it? It was more than 3,000, more than 3,000 that Moses had to draw the sword. Him and Aaron and all of them that was on that side, they had to draw the sword on all the people that was in Israel. All of them that was going up against Ahijah. He told them draw the sword, take their lives, and they had to kill them. See, what y'all don't understand. You want to follow these men who wants to put themselves on pedestals. It's time y'all understand. In Deuteronomy 28, it said, until they are destroyed. Until they are destroyed. He might be only talking to the men. He might be only talking to the men, because as you go over in Isaiah 3, you see him saying what he going to do to the women. You ain't going to ever see the scriptures where he's destroying you women. You'll never see him destroying you, killing you, or you dying by the sword. What he says is he's going to purge you. And I already told y'all that took place already. The scab of the crown and purging the traditions. All these women was wearing these certain things because this is honestly, they dress code, and every way they dress was according to a man's style and the way the man said they had to dress. But y'all purge all that mess up out of there too. He left them with sackcloth on the ground, moaning, laminating, scabs in their head, burning in their head, living witness. I'm not a dead prophet. I'm a living one. A living witness that he has purged the daughters of Zion already. He ain't never said he's going to destroy you. And then he's talking about how he's going to purge. And before he purged the daughters of Zion, he already let you know exactly what he told. He told you that United Snakes has fallen. Babylon has fallen. He said the same thing in Isaiah chapter 3 regarding the house of Israel. The men, that's the only one he said, has fallen. They have fallen. He talked about them being in Sodom, and they don't have no shame. They not embarrassed. That's how men are dressing, like women. And these homosexuals trying to be a female, and ain't no shame in them. And you running around here talking about what the heathens doing, what the white people are doing. Let me tell you something. It's all up in your sons and daughters. It's all up in, and 80% is your sons. These men didn't stay around to take care of their children, to do anything, or to lead their children. Even if they did, according to the Deuteronomy 28, they wasn't going to mount up to be nothing. Honestly, it still was going according to my Ahiah's will and the way he had said it. So when you get to Isaiah chapter 3, I'm reading all up in there and said, women shall rule over thee. And there was another verse in the Bible talking about how they would exceed past them. They don't want you to know that. That's why they got you under fire. They got you in their fire, women. They got you down to the point where they figure if they can just keep you under their feet and they keep smashing you. And that's all you hear on all these devil platforms is Negro men bashing Negro women. They ain't bashing these heathens. They ain't bashing these Gentiles that's killing them. They ain't bashing them. They bashing the woman that brought them forth. Every last one of them got brought forth through a woman's womb. So when they bash a woman, a female that they don't like, they bashing mama, grandmama, great-great-grandmama on down. That you think they care? No. They could care less. They could care less because they got a thing in their spirit regarding women. And it started way back. And it's been going on. And women have allowed men to do so many things. They have allowed men to molest their daughters, beat their children, do all kinds of things in their home. All because they wanted that man in that house with them. And guess what? It was a reason why they had to get their tails out. Because if it had not they gotten their tails out, the small remnant still wouldn't be able to survive. I'm telling you, these men have always been off the chain since the Garden of Eden. That's why I told y'all, when he sat there and he said, it is not good that man shall be alone. Wait a minute. Everything was good up until you got ready to set him in the garden and it was time to dress it and you warned him to keep the instructions and directions, and all of a sudden it's not good. Come on now, talk to me, Father. See, I know all about that on the spiritual level. I know about it on the spirit and truth level. Now, I don't know about it on your level in which you've been taught and way you understand. You stay over there over in that side. Because where Sister Deborah is at, Sister Deborah is about spirit and truth. And what you're talking about is not spirit and truth, okay? And spirit and truth, you something else about spirit and truth. It's going to speak what proceed out of the mouth of Ahiah, not what proceed out of a woman's mouth or a man's mouth who said this precept and that precept is identifying this and this and this to make it what it is. No, that's a trick of the trade. Been going on in the church since the church started. Because see, what happened is how the church were being able, the Catholic Church, the Roman Pope, and all of them, even these churches that the Hebrews go to, only way it survived by manipulating people and swinging them verses. But see, Yah always had a ram in the bush, and that was his ram. He always had his to understand his spirit, which is spirit and truth. See, they can get you long as they precepting you, lining you little here, but you can get them with, you can get them back with spirit and truth, and then you can bounce off what proceed out of Yah's mouth versus what proceed out of man's mouth, and then they lost. They lost. See, they can't rumble with spirit and truth. They can only rumble with verse after verse, Torah, and this, making them come together to make some sense to them. And if they can make some sense to them and they can search the scriptures and find verse here, verse here, verse here, verse here, a little here, a little here, oh, they think they got it made. But that was for a certain people. He already done told his 12, wait a minute, hold up. You just tarry here until I come. And I would indulge. I would bring in my spirit in you, and it will teach you all things. So anything that you need to remember, it's coming. Anything you need to prophesy about, it's coming. Anything that shall be coming, it's coming. Hold on, just tarry, just wait on the Most High Yah to bring his spirit. Why are you waiting? Because the Ruach HaKodesh has to be ushered to you by Christ, which is Hamashiach. Yeah, a lot of y'all don't know nothing about it, but it don't matter. You don't have to know nothing about it. It's finished. And when Sister Deborah says finished, it is finished. It's no more trying to get you this said this and this said that. Oh, it's over. It is what he said that it is. And I just thank him for allowing me to be able to stand in the midst of what it all is. So I won't be put off, or I won't be set out so in the nowhere land because of all this sick mess that's going on. I'm in his bosom, and I thank him for allowing me to be present there. Okay, now in Isaiah 3, it also tell you how the men, he said, thy men. So when he's purging women, he's telling them, thy men is going to be in a situation, and I'm going to destroy thy men and thy and this here is in Isaiah 3:25. And what the men did not do is they didn't do their study under the Ruach HaKodesh. They got under men to manipulate them to think that they got power over Yah, just like Satan thought he had in the heavens. See, men in the Hebrews don't understand. All you doing is trying to gain more power for yourself over Yah, just like Satan did, thinking he can get a third to follow him. And many of you all on this Devil platform don't understand. That's how your page is. 99.9. Your page is to get people to follow you, just as Satan did in heaven, got a third, 1/3 to follow him. So if you're thinking somebody following you and liking you and praising you is all about anything righteous, no. Is it about spirit and truth? No. It's about your flesh, your flesh, your flesh, and your flesh, getting wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in your flesh, and everybody running to your flesh to get their wisdom, their knowledge, and their understanding. And your wisdom is not spirit and truth. Your knowledge is not spirit and truth. Your understanding is not spirit and truth. You see? So what they told the people, when you heard this European on that video, he was talking, and I'm going to back you up into Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25. He has destroyed the men. He told the women, I'm going to destroy thy men. Thy men mean your son, your husband, your father, your brother, your uncle, your cousin. The men, thy men, because we brought forth these men. These are men that's in our lives. He said they're going to be destroyed. And even the mighty men, those who right now today think that they powerful, they got 1 million subscribers, and they got, I don't care if you got 2 subscribers and you think you all that powerful and you big dog and you know this and you know that, he's talking to you too. You're going to be destroyed by the sword. You see, you're going to be destroyed. Why? Because the word said it, I believe it, and you watch it come to pass. And let me tell you what happened. Then he got down to Isaiah chapter 4, where all the ignorance of the wickedness of man. Well, we're going to have 7 wives to 1 man. They didn't see up in chapter 3 in verse 25. It can't be. You ain't getting those 7 women if you're all destroyed. Don't go back up to 25. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 25. You destroyed. And he's selling this to the women. And he's showing them they're going to be on the ground, still being purged by the Most High Yah. So when the women are saying, let us use your name, that's holy. Because after Yah has purged the women and has, how would he say it? He said purge and judge the women. He's going to call them holy. And they're saying, as long as we are called by thy name, which is holy, he's not talking about nothing but holy. Anything else outside of that they didn't add into it, no, keep reading it. And it's in the Isaiah chapter 4. It's where he's talking about holy. And that's what he's talking about. He's not talking about what these people are talking about. It's saying it is not, and he is not saying that they're going to have 7 women to 1 man. And just like they was talking about, he's going to let them have the heathen's wife. I mean, all of this, what are we saying? What are we saying about this creator? How are we belittling him like that? Why are we listening to them belittle a higher that way? Because we're those silly women, laden with sin, because we're full of them in us. You see? So what this European is saying on this video, let me explain what he's saying. He talked about the lips and the feet. The Hebrews, the daughters of Zion feet and their lips. Okay, the feet and the lips. You have to understand. This European, go back to the video. He talks about them being powerful in the end days. The lips and the feet. Look at Sister Deborah. Yah has ordered my steps. How do we make steps? With our feet. He has ordered our steps to speak spirit and truth. So he is 100 times 100 correct. But it's the way Yah suffered him to bring it out. And he is a Gentile. You see? That's showing you Yah will use other nationalities. He will use other nationalities. And listen to this. Now it makes me understand why these Gentiles, Europeans, are going after our black women. Because they didn't study the book enough to know that it's something invested in them. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen very careful. Listen very careful. Listen to what I'm saying and listen very careful. The reason why they have found out is because Yah didn't allow the ignorance of these Negro men, these Hebrew men, to know anything because the wickedness of their hearts and how much hate they have to have planted within themselves and among themselves, teaching one another how to go up against a higher, like Satan did in the heavens when he took a third. Teaching people on these devil platforms how to like and to strive and to praise you, and never taking them to spirit and truth where they can give all the glory and the honor and salute the will of the Father, his judgment, his curses, everything that proceeded out of his mouth. Salute it. Father, it's your will. I'm all in one with you. So what happens is now it makes sense why the Gentile Europeans are flaunting for these women, because they know what the Negro men do not know, while they're trying to plot the hate of the hate. And you know what? When we tell y'all something, women, while y'all taking y'all tails out there following these men, they putting you so far under their feet. They have even put maneuver on under their feet so they can wipe it on you. That's how bad it is. Because now all of them are talking about the Garden of Eden, that you had sex with the serpent and all that. Wait a minute. When did that come out of the mouth of Yah? You won't see it, women. Everything that they're talking about, you will not see. When you go into that Bible from now on, if you hear something that says, you hear men talking, and you don't hear it saying, and Yah said, or you hear Yeshua saying, speaking the word of Yah, and you hear, say for instance, if you hear Abraham said, and the word of Yah came unto me, that's when it's Yah. All this other crap, men was created, a woman was created for men, not men for Yah. Where is that out of the mouth of Yah? He said every word that proceeded out of his mouth, not every word that man said. Adam said, bones of my bones, flesh of my flesh. Yah didn't say that. That was what Adam said. Okay? Flesh of a man. That's what he said. You see, Eve said, he said that we're not supposed to touch nor eat. Adam didn't say that. Eve said that. You see what I'm saying? I mean, Yah didn't say that. Eve said it. So people don't understand. We cannot take what man and woman is saying in the biblical Bible and make it proceed out of the mouth of Yah. and say, out of the mouth of Yah. That's what Yeshua went to the mountain to tell us and help us, that it is written. We have to focus on what proceed out of the mouth of Yah. And what proceed out of the mouth of Yah for Deborah? Spirit and truth. Not this nonsense that these men are teaching. So when you get a heathen, not a heathen, but when you get these Gentile men sitting here taking on these women, they taking on these women because they know that something is invested in these women. And I'm going to tell you the truth of the matter. I talked to this white man, it had been like 20 years ago. And him and I was talking on the phone, and he said one thing that a lot of white men don't like is how black men treat their women. So there has been a hate over the white man's head against the black man, because he said that they don't like, and he was elderly, we don't like how the white black men treat their women. So while the black men thinking it's okay for them to keep monkeying around and being hateful and evil and wicked, you all stop trying to paint them pretty because they are called Hebrew Israelite. They as ugly as Ahiah said. Go to Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25 and hear Ahiah say, I'm going to destroy their butts, Deborah. He says it. That's why he said women will rule and children will be their oppressor, and they have. Why? Because it's out of order. And he said that which has led you error and erred you have led you wrong. He's talking about the men leading the men. That's in Isaiah chapter 3. Y'all need to get there. Read the whole chapter 3. He's speaking a lot of good things, especially around about the end. Oh, no, wait, no, I ain't gonna say the end. All up in there where he tell you the house of Israel have fallen, just like he said, United Snakes has fallen. Yah is speaking to the men up and down. And he said the men are going to hand over everything to the young men and said, okay, rule this house, take care of the house, take care of that. And that's exactly, it's so true. Because my children's father, he forever, and I have stayed on him for a long time. Stop turning everything over to them. Even when they were children, he was turning issues that he's supposed to be a man, he would turn it over to them. I know what I'm talking about. I know it. And I thank the Most High for showing me through his word of when he speaks what to look for. I know what I'm saying. So I tell you, it's no such thing as these men getting right. Your Hebrew men are not going to get right, y'all. Your Hebrew men are not going to get right. Your Hebrew women who running around here saying you're not supposed to entangle yourself with this here race, and you're not supposed to mess with white. You're not supposed to mess with this here black men. Not supposed to mess with white women. White women's not supposed to be. Black women shouldn't be messing with white men. How long has black women been messing with white men? Not at all. It's a history of black men messing with white women. So this here clown that tells you about black women messing with white men and white women messing with black men, you just lost without a cause. For the certain black women never. This is something different. And that's why I say it might exist 1 out of 1,000,000, but I'm just saying it's different in this day and time. Okay, they know that there's something invested in the women. The women don't even know what it is they have. They don't even know what it is invested in them that really why these white men are turning to them. But let me explain something to you. Every woman that's out there, these people that's teaching you to hate white men and women not supposed to be this, let me tell you something, share something with you. Anything a white man has to do with that white woman, guess what? That black man. Anything a black woman have to do with that white man, guess what? Guess what? It's not going to change her spirit and where it's predestined. Any black man dealing with this white woman, when you finish talking about black and white, you're running into that Old Testament, which your forefather, father, never, ever kept. So what we're in now is grace and mercy. We're in also Yeshua HaMashiach. So therefore, all that up in the old, you can't come riding and bring it to the forefront as if You're going to tie it around people's neck and make them live by it or see by it. Mind your own business. Stay in your lane. You haven't been talking spirit and truth either. So if you want to talk to people about any race, baby, come spirit and come truth. And if you can't hear out of the mouth that proceed out of the mouth of Yah, that's in that exists during the time Yeshua HaMashiach came, you need to shut that stuff down. And see, that's another way they breaking y'all. They going back into Torah and back into the old, pulling those traditions up and then bringing them to you, saying, look, you got to abide by this. You got to abide. Wait a minute. What happened to Yeshua HaMashiach when he came on the scene? What happened to that? Why ain't we mimicking him? Why ain't we walking upright in that order? Because that's what these people on this devil platform, they love their page so much. They like to keep chaos going on. And they like to teach that which is not spirit and truth, because they know everybody's seeking pleasure and comfortable, being comfortable in their flesh. Because their spirit don't have a chance. So they go they go the route of the flesh. And it's sad. But it is what they said that it is. It is what they're doing. And they're comfortable with it. And they don't want to teach spirit and truth. And also, Passover and the feast, stay out of that. Stay out of that. Because I'm going to tell you something. He said it's going to be like the days of Noah. And if you go back to Matthew's, Mark, and Luke, and John, and you see what he's saying and how he's saying it, a few of them are also speaking on, they're going to be the days of Noah, feasting and gathering. Feasting. You have to really understand that, not just in English, but in Hebrew. What these people are doing is getting all the traditions out of the old and wants to walk up in it in this day and time and don't even understand. You're vain and you're vax, because Yah is not going to uphold that to be anything if your heart is wicked and evil. So all the traditions of yesterday doesn't mean anything if you still are not walking in spirit and truth. You're still vain and vax. Another thing, when Yah come and the small remnant, 99.9 is going to be females. Yes. And that's another thing this man is talking. A lot of y'all don't get it. Y'all listen to it, but you listen to it for the feeling. Instead, listen to it for spirit and truth. Because when he speak mouth of a woman and the feet, come on now, there's two connections. A lot of things comes out of the feet. But Yah said, I have ordered thy steps in thee. He have ordered your steps. What is your steps represented as a spiritual? It's your steps where represents your life. Your steps that you make in life. And then he said, and the lips of a woman. He has anointed, Yah has anointed your lips to speak and utter spirit and truth. So when Sister Deborah is telling you that same thing, it's spirit and truth. It is not set up like these men. And to me, I honestly, I look at it as the Gentiles. How is it that it's sad that he would let them see it? It's because they study to know what is in that book. And when they study to know what was in that book, they can hear what he's saying. Because they study in what even proceed out of his mouth. These darn Negroes, these people, women and men, that's Hebrews, they could care less. They so busy studying what Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They so busy studying Moses and Aaron and all those Leviticus priests and all that stuff that don't mean nothing. That's all vain and vax if you're not walking in spirit and truth. Because spirit and truth is what is righteous and just. It is where the light rests in. It is where a higher teaches you in his spirit, in his Ruach HaKodesh. So, and it is also Hamashiach, the power, the right hand, which the word called Jesus Christ. All of that is in spirit and truth, y'all. So if anything, we don't have nothing natural to detach us. We can see everything created, and you best bet everything you see that's created, you better give him the glory and honor. Because if it wasn't for him, you would not see it. And the only reason why you see it is because he brought it forth through spirit. It was before it was before us, and it come from the spirit realm. Okay, It's giving him all the glory, the honor, and put him where he needs to be. So I, Sister Deborah, saying to you, go over those videos and also kind of get a feel of what this Gentile is saying, because he's going beyond natural. He went kind of into the spiritual realm. That's why I decided to post it. And then that other post where our men in the Islam or whatever they in, Muslim or whatever they in, with Pharaoh. I always thought Farrakhan was not so much as an agent, but he's also in something that's not worshiping spirit and truth. And when I saw him saying the power in the words in which they have was saying, the black guy, when he was, it sounded really good. The power in what he was saying sound really good, but it ain't about if it sound good. What are you doing and what have you done lately? See, it don't mean nothing if it's just spoken. And that's the question I had put out to you all. Is he saying what is he saying? And is he saying it, and who he's saying it to? Because there's an I in the back. Go back and see the I in the background. So I, Sister Deborah, hope this day that you got something out of what I am saying. Another thing, you all, I don't celebrate the holidays anymore. And I try to not, and I don't try, I just don't eat pork and the things that's unclean. It's a lot of things that I don't do. I try to just take heed to it, but I don't do it because of what someone told me to do or how the tradition of the forefathers were. Because as I see it now, this is why we're here where we at now. It's because the sin and the error of the forefathers. But what I do is, if the spirit that rests in me train me to don't go into that area, I stay out of it and I will not return. Okay. But I would tell you, it's a lot of things that these Hebrews have labored on these devil platform, that they have labeled to fit into their religion and into their cult, into their uh, 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 own way they want to make us and set us all separate. Now they went in setting all these Hebrew men separate just to do what? Teach them how to hate their own nation and how to belittle the one who has to birth the nation forth. You tell me if that ain't deep, I don't know what is. And they getting worse and worse and worse. Worse and worse and worse. So I, Sister Deborah, say to you, I hope this helped you. Another thing, in these holidays, celebrating these holidays is one thing, but just being amongst your family is another. So don't take what proceed out of the mouth of man on all these devil platforms. Listen to the voice of the Most High Yah. Normally it comes quiet and it comes in you and it is for you. It's a give and gave. So I, Sister Deborah, say, I hope you got something out of that. And I'm going to open up the comment, and I hope that you can let me know what you think of those videos again. If you go back and you see beyond the videos, or and even the Gentile that's speaking, see if you can see spiritual what he's saying, not just hearing him speak. Because Yah never wanted us to look at Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He never wanted us to look at Moses and look at David. He never wanted us to look at Ezekiel, Solomon, or Ezekiel. Who else was that? Jeremiah. He never wanted us to look at them. He wanted us to hear them say something about him in which he has said unto them. Going back, what proceed out of his mouth to them is what he always wanted us to mimic, to look and hear. But we didn't do that. We wanted to walk like Moses and walk like Aaron and walk like the Leviticus priest. We wanted to walk like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We wanted to be the daughters, the wives of Jacob. And we wanted to be the Proverbs 31. Ain't no Proverbs 31, y'all. You got to be able to understand that spirit and truth. That is not the way he designed a woman. Because you have to really understand what is being said. Because when I buckle up on it, and I think I will say this, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I would, without even boasting, with that Proverb 31, if he was really talking about a female and who she should be, I will be the one of the number one women on the face of the earth that will buckle side by side with Proverbs 31. But I know he ain't talking about me. You see, he ain't talking about no woman. He's talking about something that has to deal with spirit and truth and the intent and who he created and how he created it to be. You see? And we just take it and we just line it up any fleshly way that we can do a video and make people think this is, we know this, we know that. We don't know nothing until we line up spirit and truth. So I, Sister Deborah, say, I hope you have a wonderful evening. I hope you got something out of it. And I hope you decide to run on for the Most High Yah. And I will tell you, it is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and maybe even thousands of people open up pages here on what page is this? YouTube and Instagram, TikTok, Patriot, Twitter. They open up all kind of Facebook, all kind of pages to start a whole a new page trying to get you to hear them. This one man, he got a page and it's booming. It's booming like crazy. But he talking about numbers. He's connecting numbers. See, what he didn't understand, the power of the wicked one would teach you how to connect letters. And next thing you know, you're addicted to everything you do. You connecting letters. He'll get you addicted to connecting numbers. And these numbers carry no weight. Why? Because they're not spirit and truth. Okay? It's not spirit and truth. Yah did not send his Ruach HaKodesh to teach you numbers. You understand? He sent his Ruach HaKodesh that you may believe and trust in every word it says to your spirit and be led by it in your inner man. First of all, 99.9% of Hebrews don't even understand they got a spirit. And that spirit that they have was what he gave them was a light. It's a light. A spirit is like a light. And it's in them. And he abide in that light with them when he enter in. And see, they thinking that they are soul. And 99.9, you get on that devil platform, the soul is represented by Hebrews in so many different ways. They categorize so many different ways, and it's sad. But that's the best that they can do because they've been doing wrong since the beginning of time. And Yah is saying, even looking back in Genesis, the first chapter and the second and the third, look in there. You can take out so much. You can just about take out a lot of stuff that does not speak out of the mouth of Yah. That's showing you how man has been in there, smeared it, and made it look nice and pretty. And you know what? I just thank him because even being a young girl, I knew what was I could get in there, and a lot of it I wasn't holding firm to because I was more excited by hearing what he said more so than hearing what's all being said. So knowing how to rightly divide it at that time as a young person is because what's greater in us and he that has chosen certain people to be able to not be fooled. So I say, Sister Deborah say, I will be back and I hope you enjoy this message. So I say, I love you and shalom and shalom.